Hello, 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 beautiful soul queen. How are you? How are you? Happy Tuesday. I'm so excited because I have a lot of lessons that I learned this last week in my life, and I wanted to talk about some of them, especially when it comes to our imperfections. So if you are completely new to my world, I am Dr. Chelsea Page. It is so nice to meet you, and I help women embody their inner soul queen. And this means loving yourself, trusting yourself, being in touch with your desires, your soul self, just the power inside of you, the pleasure inside of you, all of the things. And if you've been in my world for a while, and I do not have this phone propped up in the bestest of way. I was going to sit outside, but it's freaking cold out. So we moved the action inside, ladies, inside. All right. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So, and of course, if we've been friends for a while, say hello, hello. But so imperfections, ladies, hands up if it is hard for you to embrace and love your imperfections. And I don't just mean, so even just saying that word right now, like the first thing that comes to my mind is like imperfections in what we look like and how our body shows up. And if you saw a post of mine, there's a few posts down if you're here on Facebook. And if you're not following me on Facebook, definitely follow me over there. I posted about with my body and how my body is not in this perfect place. And imperfect doesn't mean bad or wrong or not lovable. It just doesn't form this vision of what we think perfect is, which who even knows what perfect means and what that actually looks like? Like we don't even know. And the same thing. So that can show up in how we look at ourselves, but also just in how we show up in our business, how we show up in our relationships, how we show up in just everything in our life. That if you have an inner perfectionist, I have an inner perfectionist. This is something we just talked about in my soul support membership, is diving into the perfectionist this week, is knowing that our inner perfectionist hates imperfection, which makes sense, right? Because perfectionist is perfectionism, not imperfection. And so that means your inner perfectionist does not like the messes, does not like the mistakes, does not like anything that's outside of the very exact pinpoint of perfection. Your perfectionist is like, bitch, you messed up. And oh my gosh, not okay. And oh my gosh, you're a fuck up. And oh my gosh, like who do you think you are? And oh my gosh, you're not going to be loved. And oh my gosh, your business is not going to work out. And oh my gosh, your partner's going to leave you. And oh my gosh, it's like the oh my gosh type of moments. So then our perfectionist gets activated to try to look the best, do the best, say the best, and be perfect in all these pieces, which is impossible because, again, what does perfectionism even actually mean, right, ladies? So one of the first things is loving ourselves in these imperfections, because everybody has an imperfection. Everybody has an imperfection, and we all make mistakes. We all make messes. This is something where the second piece of what imperfections actually lead us to is it leads us to loving ourselves more, but it also allows us to extract the lessons that we need in order for our life to be as expanded and powerful and as open as being on the path of our desires as we want to be. We need the lessons. Therefore, we need the mess. And actually, our imperfections too, and I'm not equating imperfections with messes in a bad way, but we often categorize it as bad because our perfectionism categorizes it as bad, when in reality, it's actually, this is the gold. Your imperfections is life. Your imperfections is where the love is. Your imperfections is where the lessons are. Your imperfections is the gold mine. It's literally like right here. It's right here. It's right here. So we get to love ourselves in our imperfections and that it's okay and that we make mistakes. Like literally right before I got onto this live, my VA messaged me and she's like, "Hey, Chelsea, you forgot to pay me this month." And I was like, "Oh shit, I did. I totally did." It's in those moments. How do you handle yourself in those moments? Do you shame yourself? Do you blame yourself? Do you criticize yourself? Do you make it mean all these different things that, oh, I'm the worst business owner ever, or oh my gosh, I keep making mistakes, or oh my gosh, it's the oh my gosh moments. No, I owned it. I paid it. I moved on. Lesson learned. I need to make sure I categorize that new invoice, because she's my new VA, she's freaking amazing, by the way, is I need to now input that into my system, into my checklist that I do each month, because it wasn't automated. We need to make sure that it's automated. So we learn the lessons. So you love yourself through it, and then you learn the lessons, and then you move on to the next mess. Because let me tell you, life is boring as fuck if we're perfect. If we're perfect. Like, how boring is that? That means there's no nuances. That means there's no color. Living in perfectionism is literally living in black and white. Literally. Either you're perfect or you're not. Either you're lovable or you're not. Either you're a good business owner or you're not. Either you're a good wife or you're not. Either you're a good mother or you're not. Either you're a good friend or you're not. It's very black and white. Either you're sexy or you're not. Either this or that, this or that, this or that. Your perfectionist side has a very clear line about what is okay and what's not okay. But I'm here to tell you that the imperfections is where it's at. The color. Your imperfections is the color of your life. Your imperfections actually allows you to paint the canvas of your life with all these beautiful, magnificent colors. And I know there's women in my life who are actually artists and painters in that way. And yes, there's a lot of amazing things that you can create with black and white, and you can get the shades of gray, like 50 shades of gray, you know? But the color of life, this is what we're living for. We don't want the black and white. We had the black and white TVs, and everything we wanted was to go to color. So we don't want to live in the black and white of perfection. The black and white of perfection means there's no lessons and there's no love. Because we're trying to be someone we're not. We're trying to achieve something that we don't need to achieve. We're trying to look for something that we don't need to look for. You don't need to be perfect in order to be loved. You're already loved. You don't need to be perfect in order to be a good business owner. You already are, and you're learning. You don't need to be perfect in order to be a good girlfriend, a good wife, a good person, a good woman. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be imperfect. You need to be messy, and you need to fuck shit up. As Madam Adam says, I mentioned this in my Soul Sport membership today. If you don't follow him on Instagram, he's amazing. Hello, beautiful Sarah. So good to see you. So I'm all fired up today. I'm all fired up because I'm learning even more of these lessons deeper and deeper and deeper inside of myself, that it's okay to be imperfect and it's okay to have the messes. It's okay to have the mistakes, because this is where we find the love. More love within inside of ourselves and more lessons to get closer and closer to our desires. So why wouldn't we embrace the mistakes? Why wouldn't we embrace the mess ups? Why wouldn't we embrace the imperfections? Why wouldn't we embrace the humanness of who we are in this world? Let's embrace it so we can love ourselves more, and so we can learn the lessons, all the lessons. Yes, progress over perfection, 100%. And a soul queen knows she doesn't have to be perfect. Perfectionism is like the mirage in the desert. It doesn't exist. We keep going for it, but it doesn't exist. And then when we think we got to the water, we're freaking thirsty because it's just more desert. It's just more dirt. Instead, you follow your soul, which is full of love and lessons and light. This is the oasis, the actual truth of bliss that is there inside of you, not in the perfectionism. It's fake. Perfectionism is fake. It doesn't even exist. Madam Adam is freaking amazing. I just came across him recently. He's freaking amazing. They're all learning opportunities. Yes, love. But the thing is, we got to look for the learning opportunities, which means we got to look at our mistakes. We got to look at our shit. We got to look at the messes. This is what a powerful woman does. A powerful woman is able to hold herself in the mess, is able to hold the love even when she makes mistakes. A soul queen, in honoring the power within inside of herself, is able to look at the lessons inside of herself and doesn't deny herself of these lessons by trying to look at the perfectionism. She looks at the lessons and she feels the love and she embraces it, and she doesn't let any imperfection, anything that is wiggly, that is outside of the lines, mean it is something that's bad or wrong or not enough or not lovable or not amazing. You already are. You don't need to prove it by being perfect. This is the oasis. Yes. Read my latest post. We're on the same wavelength. I love that. I'm so glad that we are, and I'll check it out. I'm just sending you ladies so much love. That is it today. I'm all fired up. Yes, color outside the lines. Live in a colorful world and color outside of the lines. This is what gets to be fun and pleasurable and exciting and joyful and actually allows us to move forward instead of just going in circles. Play with color, play outside the lines, mess things up, feel the mistakes, be imperfect, allow the humanness of who you are to shine through because it's freaking beautiful and amazing, amazing. I'm all fired up, I love you ladies so much. And I just want to let you know that coming up here soon too is my emBODY program, which is all about owning and embodying and expressing your powerful self and expanding this power and pleasure and being able to hold it, because that's what power is being able to hold it and not shutting it down, not shutting down the lessons, not shutting down the pleasure, not shutting down the love, not shutting anything down, but holding it inside of herself and owning who she is as a woman, defined by her, not defined by perfection. A woman gets to define herself as herself, not by perfection or what she's been told to feel of how she needs to be in order to be loved and liked and amazing and all those silly things. So emBODY is coming up soon in May. So reach out to me if you want any information on that. I love you ladies so much. Go be a soul queen and I'll see you next time.